Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Rebel Rewind. My name's Christopher. With me, as always, is Eric from Sire Speed Reviews. How you doing, Eric?
I'm good. How you doing, man?
Doing good.
Everything all right?
Work? Oh yeah. How's things with you?
It's getting better. It's getting better. Yeah, things are getting
good.
better.
Good.
Yeah,
that's good. So what's new on the Star Wars front with you? Like you have a convention coming up, don't you?
We have one in Houston. I just keep forgetting the dates, but yeah. So planning on attending that.
And that's where Boba Fett's going, right?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, Tamora Morrison's going there, right? Boba Fett.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hayden Christensen also. But I'm planning on getting maybe an autograph from Boba Fett himself.
Boba. So. Yeah, get the photo op too. You got to get the photo op.
Well, we'll see.
You got to do it, man. Look at how happy.
I know.
Right?
that could be me.
Like a panther. Like a panther.
In my cosplay, who knows?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. So how's it going with you, Chris? How's the new family member?
He's doing good. He's doing good.
Yep.
He needs some training. He needs some training for sure.
Oh, definitely.
And then this past weekend, I flew out to Niagara Falls and went to the Comic-Con out there, and Patrick flew up and met me there.
I know. You met up with the man, Patrick.
I know.
That's awesome, man.
I know. So that was fun. That was cool. Fun. Did the photo op with Warwick Davis, and I got autographs from Warwick and Daniel Logan. So good times.
So what part of Canada is that? Is that like East Coast or?
So it's no, it's like in the Great Lakes area. So up like north of, I think it's Baltimore area. Like it's just across the border from Baltimore.
Okay, so that's like, I guess mid United States.
Yeah, I guess so.
Canada.
It's Eastern time zone. It's not along the coast though. It's like yeah.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, no, I was just talking to my brother-in-law. We were talking about we're trying to see if we can go to the Rebel Scum Con in Dallas, in Frisco, but he's not going to be able to. He's got some prior arrangements and some plans. So I may just do this Saturday, just one day.
Yeah. Go meet up with the peeps who are going down there, right?
I know. So. It's cool to finally meet up with people you've been talking to on YouTube and Instagram and doing live streams and stuff. So
yeah. What's the shirt say? I'm too epic.
I'm too epic to fail.
Oh, to fail. It's not wrong. Darth Vader is too epic to fail.
Yeah. It's a little shirt I've had for a while.
Yeah, I like it. But lots of interesting news going on.
Yes,
today.
sir.
But let's hop into our rapid fire segment.
All right, so we've got some information on the Emmy nominations. The eligibility period has now ended, and Andor season 2 made it. So they've been nominated for there's eligibility for a lot of nominations for them. Like let's go to real quick. I don't want to hold everybody back here. So outstanding drama series, director, outstanding drama series, directing for drama series, writing for drama, supporting actors, supporting actresses, guest actors, cinematography, sci-fi costumes, and I know they're going to definitely win everything in that section. So yeah, we got that going for the Emmys, and then so the voting begins on June 12th. Ahsoka season 2 continues its UK shoot, and Star Wars Starfighter pre-production is still underway with more casting reports likely to come soon. So that's pretty much the gist of the rapid fire segment for this week. Rapid fire. Audio went out, Chris.
Yeah, I
There we
muted
go.
myself. There we go. I had to play the outro again, the intro for the outro.
Okay.
But yeah, let's jump into our news for this evening. Starting with Mark Hamill. He doesn't want to play Luke Skywalker anymore, so I think we should maybe let him be, I suppose. So Mark Hamill says, "I had my time playing Luke Skywalker. Star Wars should focus on the future," which I tend to agree with. Like, and it seems like they're slowly moving away from the original trilogy characters, like the legacy characters, like Luke and all of them, right? So,
they're all getting older.
Yeah, I mean, they can't keep playing them forever, right?
Yeah, unfortunately.
So while it's not completely clear, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying it. It's kind of, to picture somebody else in his, as Luke Skywalker. I mean, we had some other actors do it, so we just got to.
I mean, I think Sebastian Stan could do it, and Mark Hamill even said he would. He's on board with that. He's given him the approval.
Sure.
Or if they do like any animated shows that take place during between the original trilogy and the sequels, I'm fine with doing an animated series, right? So
yeah.
But yeah, Mark Hamill says, Mark said he's had his time playing Luke Skywalker. While it's not completely clear how the future of the Skywalker saga will be handled in the upcoming films, whether or not those potential films will include Luke Skywalker seems to be resolved. Speaking with comicbook.com while promoting his new film, The Life of Chuck, Mark Hamill said that it's time to move on from the legacy characters first introduced in the original trilogy and later returning in the sequel trilogy. So Hamill first appeared as Luke in 1977 in Star Wars Episode 4: A New Hope, as well as its first two sequels. He returned in 2015's The Force Awakens, as well, and the two sequels to that. So he's been involved on the Disney Plus side of things, assisting with motion capture in The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett, and later voicing Luke in the Lego Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy. Hamill says he is forever grateful for his role in Star Wars, but that it's time to move on. He said, "I'm so grateful to George Lucas for letting me be a part of that back in the day. The humble days when George called Star Wars the most expensive, low-budget movie ever made. We never expected it to become a permanent franchise and part of pop culture like that. But my deal is, I've had my time. I'm appreciative of that, but I really think that they should focus on the future and all the new characters." Meaning, in the sense of humor regarding his character, he continued. Maintaining a sense of humor regarding his character, he continued. And the way that I disappeared in The Last Jedi, I left my robes behind. There's no way I'm going to appear as a naked Force ghost.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Mark Hamill,
he already showed up as a Force ghost in the Rise of Skywalker, though. So, but yeah, I agree. Like, it's time to move away from the legacy characters. Do another story with the sequel trilogy characters, and then move on from that. Just keep it's supposed to be like a passing of the baton every 3 movies, right? That I'd be okay with that,
Yeah. I mean, but we still need him. I mean, his character, Luke Skywalker.
The character,
but
the character of Luke Skywalker. Like I said, give us an animation, give us some animated shows. Let Sebastian Stan play him in that era, right? But we don't need to see him. We don't need to see him show up in any more of the post sequel trilogy movies.
No.
He contributed what he needed to Rey. Rey's now the mentor, and possibly a Force ghost if she meets her demise in the the sequel trilogy.
Yeah,
So
pretty much.
Yeah, let the new characters get developed and then keep moving on, right? Keep moving forward.
Yeah, no, definitely. With Carrie Fisher's passing, Han Solo's passing on the film, his death, so Luke Skywalker. So I mean, those legacy characters, they've done their share part. So I'm totally in agreement with that. But if they do want to bring the characters once again, then get another actor and
yeah.
It's just unfortunate. We get older and we don't look the same. So
no.
Yeah, I mean, it's much CGI. They did a fairly good job. In the
you know what they did a decent job in the Mandalorian season 2, and then Book of Boba Fett looked better. So
yeah,
I would have. We've talked about this. They have to use them for the Dave Filoni like big Star Wars Endgame battle against Thrawn, because like Luke's around. He's got to come and fight Thrawn. So whether they do that with Sebastian Stan cast as Luke, or I don't know, I'm not sure.
Yeah, that'd be difficult, and then to getting his voice also, But with technology, I guess.
Yeah, like the technology, AI is getting better. Like we just talked about them using the AI voice of Darth Vader in the game last week.
Last week, yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy how AI has just been. I mean, that's another topic for another time. But yeah, technology is just progressively just quadrupling.
It's crazy
every year.
It's crazy.
It's wild. But so we're gonna go on to my first story for this evening. Battlefront 3 says here isn't coming out, but there's 5 Star Wars video games currently in development. So it talks a little later on why almost not in detail, but their speculation on it. But it doesn't seem that it's gonna happen. So doesn't seem like Battlefront 3 will be coming from EA games, but 5 major games are in a galaxy far, far away is still in development. So last time the Battlefront came out was in 2017. I got that game. I love that game. Unfortunately, the game so we're talking about here that it's improved with the graphics, and they're talking about Battlefront 3, and there's been so much push on for Battlefront 3 online and Instagram. I've seen like all kinds of crazy posts, but yeah, fans want what they want, and that is a game that I want, but unfortunately, it looks like it's not going to happen. We've got other games though: Jedi Survivor, Outlaw, Star Wars, Lego, and the Skywalker saga. And but there's still other games in development. We have, for one, we have Zero Company. This looks pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I like the whole.
Have you seen the trailer for it?
I've seen the trailer.
It looks cool, right?
Yeah, it looks cool, man. I like this, band of just different characters, and so it's a turn-based tactic campaign with deep strategy and gripping Star Wars storytelling. Zero Company is a unit of 5 mercenaries from across the galaxy, led by a disgraced Republic officer Hawks. It says Zero Company will see the unit fight the war beneath the war and stop a new threat that could consume the galaxy. It's a customizable game, deep strategy game that's going to be available for PC, Xbox, PlayStation 5. And we have, of course, Jedi 3, which is still in development. Respawn found great success with the Jedi Fallen series. So this is still in the works. It's ought to follow a similar gameplay with Cal Kestis and discover, which the whole game discovering, and I like the whole searching temples and things like that. It could possibly release in 2027. Once again, for PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. Now this game here, Eclipse, beautiful. The trailer we got in 2021. Nothing else after that, man. I hope they just don't drop the ball on this. I hope this we get this.
I wasn't sure it was still happening, but if it's still happening, it looks
Yeah,
the trailer looked
supposedly
incredible.
it says here that it's still in talk. So the game will take place in the uncharted territory in the Outer Rim. Gamers will experience Eclipse through multiplayer characters with their own personality, motivation, and impact on the storytelling. Updates on the Quantic Dream epic has been scarce, but a report in 2022 revealed that Eclipse wasn't expected to be released until 2027 or 2028. So that they're not saying much about it, but it's still in speculation that's going to happen. Since it's going to be released in 2027 to 2028. So another game, Knights of the Old Republic remake. That's going to be cool. With the updated graphics.
I'm excited for that.
Yep. So CEO Matthew Karch confirms to IGN in April 2024 that the game is alive and well. That's going to be Darth Malik and so many different sits on this game. So
Darth Revan.
Cool. So the last one is Amy Hennig's mystery game. We don't know much of anything about this, but we do know that it was in talks. Amy Hennig's was in talks about creating it. It was canceled, but now that she moved over to Sundance, New Media is now in development. They're developing a narrative-driven action adventure game. So
nice.
That's another game, and so they're only pure speculation of what that game is going to be all about. But they were talking about that it takes 20% more of sales to make the same money for Battlefront 3. So that was one of the points of why they abandoned the project for Battlefront 3. So it's a whole thing. So if you guys feel free to check out the article, and it's an interesting one. But yeah, unfortunately, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, maybe eventually it will. Maybe they'll circle back, right?
Yeah, because I mean, Battlefront 2 was awesome. Matter of fact, I like there's some things in Battlefront 1 that I like more than Battlefront 2, but of course the graphics in Battlefront 2 is epic. So,
yeah.
So building upon that with the graphics,
which game that is in development right now are you most excited for?
Eclipse.
Eclipse looks really cool.
That I mean, with the trailer,
we don't know anything about it though. Other than that,
yeah. But the other game, the first one, the
Zero Company, that looks cool.
That looks
and Knights of the Old Republic, the remake, that'll be cool. Yeah.
I never played the first one. I know you were talking about it. Did you play the Knights of the Old Republic, the first game? I have never played that one.
I played it a bit, but this was years ago though. So
I haven't even played it not once.
Yeah.
But I mean, just the whole strategy game of the Zero Company sounds interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, you got get a person for each individual, I guess, strategy or mission or whatever. Interesting though.
Yeah, should be cool. So next, the rumor is that much of the Star Wars franchise's future hinges on the Mandalorian Grogu's success, which makes sense. So the latest update about the odds of Mandalorian season 4 suggests that the Mandalorian and Grogu's success, the latest update about the odds of the Mandalorian season 4 suggests the Mandalorian and Grogu's success or lack thereof will dictate not only the futures of its leads, but Dave Filoni's Star Wars movie as well. So the Mandalorian season 4 was scheduled to go into production shortly before 2023's strikes, and that came to a halt. Scripts have been written, but downtime saw Disney decide that Din Djarin and Grogu's next adventure should be a feature film instead. Given their popularity and season 3's open-ended conclusion, it's not hugely surprising that the House of Mouse is eager to cash in on the Mandalorian success by shifting focus from streaming subscribers to box office revenue. And I don't know, in my opinion, like that was kind of like a nice ending for a series. Like it felt like a series finale with Din and Grogu there. So if they didn't do a season 4, I wouldn't have been surprised. But
it would feel like that would be the end of it.
Yeah, like that's what it felt like, anyways, right? So, so 6 years since The Rise of Skywalker was released, getting Star Wars back into theaters after Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy essentially turned it into a small screen property has become priority for Disney's CEO Bob Iger. Why? Well, Moana 2 was originally a Disney Plus TV series and grossed over $1 billion last year. Lilo and Stitch was similarly destined for streaming, only to break box office records over the Memorial Day long weekend. So that's a couple reasons. So insider Daniel via sffgazette.com has reiterated past reports there won't be a season 4 of The Mandalorian. He added, if the movie succeeds, a sequel will be made. However, if it flops, it will serve as the final chapter for Mando and Grogu. And it could also put Dave Filoni's movie at risk as well, which that makes sense, right? Because if The Mandalorian and Grogu fails, Dave's movie is like one of the next ones to come out in that timeline, right? So it makes sense. But we'll have to wait and see. Ahsoka season 2 is in production, and the expectation is that this era of storytelling will conclude with Filoni's planned movie. Much was once said about that setting for the stage for the sequel trilogy, explaining how Supreme Leader Snoke and the First Order gained power. Instead, it appears Filoni is forging his own path with a story about Grand Admiral Thrawn and the Mortis gods, which is very cool. I'm excited for season 2. So a lot of people know these characters who haven't seen the show. He said of how the shift to theaters will change his storytelling approach. That's what Dave said. So it's not just that there are people who saw the show and people who didn't know what the characters. There's a big range. We want to reward people who've been there since the beginning, but also invite new audiences in, which makes sense. So The Mandalorian and Grogu is supposed to come out less than a year now, May 22nd, 2026. So it's currently in post-production. I would like to think we'll have a trailer like by the holidays. You would think, like our first teaser, maybe,
or just clean up the one they already have.
Yeah, because like there's not going to be a Star Wars Celebration this coming year, not in 2026. So you would think that they would release it.
Yeah,
I don't know. Seems like a good time to release a trailer around the holidays.
Yeah, for sure. No, hopefully what they got from Andor is possibly going to give them like a better vision, because we can't do everything. You can't do everything underneath that with the dome that that they filmed most of their stuff on The Mandalorian. They need to go to actual locations and widescreen and just like we got from Andor, and a lot of just change things up a little bit. But if they were to, but either way, just going off course here, but I don't think this is going to be like a flop. If there's no way.
I don't think so. Yeah,
we want to see Star Wars in theaters, and how many people went to go watch the sequel trilogy, the Force Awakens, and Rise of Skywalker. People want to go see it. I mean, Mandalorian. But I think what they're talking about is oversaturation on some of these shows. So, but bringing people back into the theaters is a good thing that's what Star Wars is for.
Yeah, that's where Star Wars belongs. Right?
Yeah, no. But
I was gonna say, like, because when we had Mike from a guy who loves Star Wars on the channel, he mentioned that like the Rey movie, the Dawn of the Jedi movie, and what is it? It's another one. I think it's the Mando and Grogu. He said these 3 movies are going to be like the beginning of 3 new trilogies. And now with this rumor here and somewhat confirmation from from Daniel Richman saying that if the movie succeeds, a sequel will be made. So I think Mike is right about all these ones, right? Like if they succeed, it's going to be the start of their own respective trilogies. So
no, and Dawn of the Jedi, that movie, man, that really
right,
intrigued, man. Especially if it becomes a trilogy, that'd be awesome. Yeah, no, I'm all the best, man. I hope everything succeeds and breaks in big money.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get some good stories. We want Star Wars
to succeed, for sure.
Yes, we do.
All right, so talking about Kathleen Kennedy.
Nice little segue.
Yeah. She finally admits to Star Wars struggles without George Lucas. So it's safe to say that Disney's journey with Star Wars hasn't always been smooth. Ever since George Lucas stepped away, Kathleen Kennedy has been faced with some turbulence. I think it's a nice word. Some, but a lot, yeah. And now Kathleen Kennedy is finally acknowledging it. Its recent interview with longtime Lucasfilm president admits that the transition after Lucas sold the IP to Disney in 2012 brought unexpected challenges, especially for theatrical on the theatrical front. So, in an interview with Screen Rant's Ash Croshan at Star Wars Celebration, she revealed that it's been a huge challenge figuring out and where to go after finishing what Lucas has created. She says she's been working and talking for a long time about where Star Wars is going in television streaming space, offered us such a great opportunity to explore and experiment with new characters and storytelling. That's where Mandalorian obviously came about. And then post episode 9, the sequel movies, and finishing what George Lucas had created. It's been a huge challenge to figure out just exactly where to go. Fans has felt that challenge for years. So The Last Jedi remains the most decisive project, or divisive. It says most decisive, but
I know. I think it's divisive. Yeah,
divisive project in the series history, splitting up the fan base and causing the Rise of Skywalker to adjust course in what most believe was in a negative way. So we saw that they scrambled to change the story.
The Rise of Skywalker, it felt like, to me, like I enjoyed the sequel trilogy. I even enjoyed The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi was my favorite movie from the sequels.
Mm-hmm.
The Rise of Skywalker I enjoyed. However, The Rise of Skywalker is the one that I have the most problems with, because it did feel like it was jam-packed with too much stuff. Like,
mm-hmm.
he tried to please all the fans that liked the sequels, and then tried to come back and please everyone who didn't like The Last Jedi. So he was trying to please both groups at the same time, and it just became too much.
Yeah, I think they were trying to like course correct. Because, man, I mean, you know what? I'm not even getting that with Rian Johnson.
But I mean, JJ is pretty infamous for not being able to stick the landing on like the ending of trilogies and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why, like, he did like one Star Trek movie, didn't he? Or did he do the two?
And he did a Star Trek movie. I think that was the first one.
I think he did the first one, but he didn't do like any other ones after that, because he's not good at doing like sequels. Is what the word on the street is.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's just to me, like, I'd hate to go back, and it just wish they had one vision, one director, one writer, the whole thing, just one concise,
or at least just one writer. At least one writer would have been good.
One writer.
I don't necessarily think that they needed one director, because like we saw the one writer work with the original trilogy, and then the different directors.
Yeah, you're right.
Worked.
You're right.
And I feel like we're gonna get the same thing with the Simon Kinberg trilogy. where he's the writer, but like they're gonna bring on different directors for each episode.
Mm-hmm.
So
that kind of worked, and not so much for the Mandalorian. I felt there was a lot of I don't know, just different episodes. Just felt totally different.
It worked for Andor as well.
It did work for Andor, for sure.
With the different director for each year, each time jump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had one little, that's the thing, we had 3 episodes and it went along with the same storyline, a vision of said, so it was good. I mean, but that's the problem with the trilogy. It just felt like one was correcting the other. That's why I like the Force Awakens, because it was a nice story. It was a really good story. It felt like it was complete story. Even though it was, a pretty much just a rewriting of the original trilogy. But it felt like a good film. Then you had Ryan, and they were trying to undo what the last movie was, and that's what we got. Just a just jumbled mess.
We might have to discuss this in another episode.
I know, because
I kind of feel the opposite. Like, I feel the Last Jedi, like, I don't think he undid what JJ did. I feel like the Force Awakens and the Last Jedi connected really well, and then the Rise of Skywalker is where things got disconnected.
I don't know. I don't.
But we'll agree to disagree for now.
Yeah, here we go. There we go.
Lines will be crossed in the sand. Rebel Rewind might record our last episode when we talk about this.
No. That's the thing. We can cordially or disagree, and it's all right.
Yeah, we're not calling each other names. I'm not like, Eric, you're not a true fan if you don't like the sequels.
And vice versa, Chris. But
right?
it's good
to have. It's good to and that's the thing. It's good to have discussions and stuff like that where we don't disagree or we don't agree on everything. Yeah. As long as we can, like you said, we can
shake hands at the end of the stream.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Right.
No. So get back to the story. When it comes to the future, Kennedy showed confidence, alluding to the Mandalorian Grogu film and the Star Wars Starfighter. The only films with set releases. She praised the great filmmakers involved and teased that Lucasfilm has got a real sense of what the future holds for Star Wars. Now it kind of goes on a little bit more, but they're talking about it's Lucasfilm. As Lucy said, that they're never developed they never developed a show with a particular character involved, because they were talking about the Skywalker name, Luke Skywalker specifically. She says, and that's kind of bugged me, but she brought this up in another, like further down this in the article. She says, let's just get back to that. Kennedy veered away from the question about mentioning the Skywalkers was used to define Star Wars. And she said specifically, Lucasfilm said that they've never developed this around a particular character, also noting that in the future, they don't want to have every little thing connected either, but rather focus on the stories. I hope I can find the other section in here where he talks about specific characters. But since the release of The Rise of Skywalker in 2019, Star Wars films has been put on the back burner, but an assortment of potential ideas have been reported on and even officially confirmed. The problem is movies like Rogue Squadron and Taika Waititi's movies have seemingly been canceled or at the very least delayed. She said it's really tough when it comes to Star Wars. When it comes to Lucasfilm's approach, Kennedy confirmed that they don't respond to rumors focusing on some time or active project. A little further down, despite Kennedy's positive surrounding its upcoming slate, there's still many questions on the board. Daisy Ridley is set to return in the Rey film directed by Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy. But 2025 Celebration didn't even offer any updates on that. Other films that were also given little to no mention are Simon Kinberg's new trilogy, James Mangold's Jedi origin film, and Dave Filoni's Mandoverse crossover event. So there you go. I mean, it kind of talks about like the fans and what we expect from Star Wars and rumors that goes on, and that she doesn't really want to touch on rumors and things like that. But just hope that they get their stuff together and write, like she says, a story for where Star Wars is heading to for the future. Because them, it's cool to get some of the other projects, but if like it feels like if it's scrambled or there's no destination or where they want to go with this, it just doesn't feel that for fans that we feel like we're on a roller coaster ride. But okay, so here's another section that I wanted to kind of touch upon. He says, no matter anyone's opinion on the movies, episode 1 through 6 of the Skywalker saga was neatly packaged with continual story characters and storyline. The sequel trilogy was adjusted, rewritten, improvised between each new episode. As Kennedy mentioned, they finished the story Lucas started, but it wasn't necessarily his story. There you go again with his story. So they're talking about that also, that there's so many different shows going on. But at the same time, they want to attract people back to Star Wars, to the theaters. So basically, I mean, I'm with that. I'm 100% agree with you, Kathleen Kennedy, on that point. We need to start being able to sit down and watching theaters in the movies again. Because Revenge of the Sith was amazing.
Seriously, Star Wars. Stanley Cup Finals. Stanley Cup Finals. Go Oilers, go.
Oilers, isn't that from Canada?
Edmonton. That's right where I am. Yeah, they're taking on the Florida Panthers. Yeah, right. Maybe they can beat the Panthers this year, because last year the Panthers won.
I don't keep up with hockey, but Panthers are from where?
Florida.
Florida, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And also, what's so weird is that how Canada is, and I've seen this I think in basketball too, right? Where there's a team from Canada.
The Raptors, the Toronto Raptors.
Toronto Raptors, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's a trip how that crossover.
I mean, there's a few teams in Canada, hockey teams.
Very cool.
So.
No, but at the end of the day, just get your stuff together, man, and let's go into the theaters and watch some new Star Wars movies.
Yeah, exactly. So next up and last story of the evening, Superman is not his dream role. David Cornsweet is how you pronounce it, I think.
Cornsweet, yeah.
His last name.
Yeah.
David Cornsweet badly wants to be a Jedi in Star Wars. So David's love for the Star Wars universe is enough for even Henry Cavill fans to root for him in the Superman role in the DCEU. So Superman fans should celebrate David Cornsweet for his love of the world of Star Wars. He is obsessed with the Star Wars franchise. Other than James Gunn's DCU superhero, Cornsweet's dream role is to play a Jedi in George Lucas's films. He has shared that his love for the space opera began when he was a kid, from nerding out about everything Star Wars to enacting a scene from the Star Wars The Trench Run, which he did while he was like in his car.
Yep.
That was pretty funny. So Cornsweet proves that he is part of the fandom. Fans hope that the Hollywood actor could pull off wonders in the Star Wars role if he ever gets cast. So David Cornsweet's Star Wars love is demonstrated in these interview appearances. So, when he appeared for a promotional interview for Look Both Ways, co-star Lily Reinhart asked him who his celebrity doppelganger was, and Cornsweet didn't have to think twice before answering Hayden Christensen. What do you think? Do you think Hayden Christensen and David Cornsweet are doppelgangers?
No.
No, I don't think.
No.
But that just shows how much of a Star Wars fan he is.
But
He sees himself in Anakin Skywalker, right? So,
you know the awesome pitch.
What's that
for a movie? We'll have Henry Cavill and what's the name again?
David Cornsweet.
David Cornsweet as brothers, twins. Okay, we have Henry Cavill as the Sith. It becomes a Sith, and David becomes a Jedi because they look very similar. Imagine them being like brothers. I think that'd be kind of cool.
Cornsweet, isn't that just butter? Corin Sweat, not corn sweat. Corin. But yeah, I think.
What do you think about that pitch?
I mean, I'd be down for it. They're both great actors.
Yeah, we talked about Henry Cavill becoming, talking about being the role. Or hey, play that clip. That's pretty cool.
Here we go.
The Death Star is in range. You may fire when ready. I have you now. What? Yahoo! You're all clear, kid. Now let's blow this thing and go home. Stand by. Stand by.
That's awesome, man.
Right?
Great shot, kid. That was 1 in a million. The Force will be with you always.
That's awesome.
Strike against the channel on this. Now, that's cool though, man. I mean, that's awesome. He's a true fan, and
yeah,
if we can get him in some Star Wars film, that'd be awesome.
Give him a role. I'm all for it, right?
Oh yeah, we had 007 as a stormtrooper. I mean,
why not
have him as a cameo or in the background or something? Easter egg.
Yeah,
character in the back.
Perhaps he could be a Jedi in one of the upcoming
awesome.
the Simon Kinberg trilogy.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But,
yeah.
I
mean,
interesting news.
There was some stories out there. It was, I kind of had your help finding a couple of my, finding stories.
Yeah, it's getting tough to find some stories, but we're gonna keep talking stories. Yeah, keep finding stories and rumors and stuff like that. So stay tuned for future episodes. And we're working on getting some guests on as well, so we can have some different chat about some different topics as well. So that'll be fun. But yeah, definitely stay tuned to Rebel Rewind for more Star Wars news and rumors. But I think that'll do it for this episode.
Good episode.
Thanks,
Chris.
everyone. Thanks everyone for watching and joining us in the chat, and we'll see everyone in the next episode.